Hey guys, Angry Monkey here with another Retro Game Treasure unboxing video. So for those who are new to the channel and you're wondering what is Retro Game Treasure, this is a video game subscription service that's sent to your house every month that gives you 3 to 5 games to add to your personal collection. This is not a rental service, you get to keep these games. And these games are on a variety of different consoles, and how that works, you go on the website and you fill out a survey, and on that survey you fill out the genres of games that you like and the consoles that you want games for. We got a long list of consoles, including some old school stuff like Atari and Intellivision. You have pretty much all the Nintendo stuff all the way up to the Wii, so NES, Super Nintendo, 64, GameCube, and Wii, as well as the portable line of the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and 3DS. You've got a bunch of Sega stuff, Master System, Genesis, Game Gear, Sega CD, Sega Dreamcast, although I don't expect those are kind of expensive. But I have gotten a Dreamcast and a Sega CD game from Retro Game Treasure before. In fact, I can prove it to you. Here's just a random case from Retro Game Treasure, and there you go. There's a Sega CD game. I remember a comment a few years ago, no, you can't get Sega CD games. Yeah, not really. I mean, you can, but not really. But I just figured I'd show that off, just in case somebody doesn't believe me. I have gotten one. But that's the only Sega CD game, and I've only gotten one Dreamcast game, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, yeah, so, again, that's Master System, Genesis, Sega CD, Dreamcast, and Sega Game Gear. You can also get PlayStation stuff, PS1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as the PSP, as well as original Xbox 360 and Xbox One. So, again, you can get a lot of different consoles. So yeah, make sure you fill all that out when you fill out the survey. And the survey also shows on how much condition means to you. If you're like, hey, I'm kind of new to collecting, or I've been collecting for a while, and how important, like I said, condition is to you. Like, I want my stuff to at least have a case if it's a disc-based game. I mean, if it's a cartridge and it's loose, that's fine. But if I have a disc-based game, I'd at least love to have the case. I mean, if it has the manual, awesome. If it doesn't have the manual, well, at least it has the case. I don't like getting loose disc-based games, so I have that in my survey as well. But yeah, like I said, you fill out the genres of games that you like to play. So that could be like you like platformer games, or you like arcade type games and shooter games and RPGs. You fill out the genres that you like and leave off what you don't like. So that way you don't get sports games. That's kind of a big selling point. In fact, on their Facebook page, that's kind of like their main thing is like, we won't send you sports games unless you want sports games. Because, yeah, nobody wants NES baseball. Like, unless you're collecting a whole NES collection or whatever, or that game just means something to you, most people out there aren't going to want an old school retro NES baseball game. They made like 30 of those. But what you do want is obviously like the Mario games and stuff like that, which I'll get to that in a minute. As well as filling out the style of games that you like to play. You like Disney-looking games, or anime-looking games, or Pokemon-looking games. You fill out all that as well as kind of an additional, like, thing to kind of narrow down, like, hey, I like these kinds of games, and these are the styles of games that I like, so you can kind of help narrow down that list, so that way you can get a box that is mostly catered to you. I mean, like I said, it's all random at the same time, but you can get a bunch of games that are most likely games that you'd like. You can also get stuff like import games and demo discs and games, or games that use like the Super Scope or the Zapper, or the Nintendo Mouse. If you like getting kids games or like rated M type games, there's so much customization that you can do to make this box truly unique to you, which that's why I really like the service. And if you're like, well, gee, I've got a pretty big game collection, how am I going to avoid getting duplicates? Well, you'd be the one to help avoid getting duplicates by also on their website, they have a video game checklist feature where you can check off all games that you have in your collection, or at least, well, at least in the stuff that they have. I mean, no sense in checking off PS5 games. They don't have PS5 games, but yeah, go through there, fill out all your PS1 games and your PS2 games, etc. Make sure you check all versions, though, because like Star Wars Battlefront was released Black Label on PS2 as well as the Greatest Hits Red Label PS2, and they have those as two separate things. So what I do, since I already have Star Wars Battlefront on PS2, I checked off that I have both versions, so that way I don't get a duplicate game of something I already have. And I also make sure I go over to like Xbox and check it off that I have it on that too. Unless you want it on both, some people do. I see it as, well, I've already got it in my collection. I don't need it on PS2 and Xbox. So just make sure that you check all versions. So that way you don't get a game on a console. It's like, well, I already have this just on a different console. Just that way you can avoid all of that headache. I've learned the lesson the hard way of a lot that I've forgotten about. Of, don't I already have this? Oh, I've got it on PS2, and here it is on original Xbox or whatever. So, yeah, I've learned the hard way of, oops, I forgot to fill that one out. And also, you got to make sure that you are on top of, like, if you go out to a game store, buy some retro games, you got to make sure that you update that list as well, so that way they have an updated list, so that way they don't send you duplicate then too. They also have a wish list feature of games that you'd like to get in your box. Don't expect Earthbound, but if you're like, hey, I just got an NES, I'd love to get Mario. I just got a Super Nintendo, I'd love to get Mario World, or Link to the Past or something. Those are realistic, at least. So yeah, fill that out, you might get one of those in your box. I've been pretty lucky for the last, 2 years of getting a wishlist item in pretty much every box for the last couple of years, maybe 2.5 years. Just because I've got a lot on my wish list, which is always fun. In fact, there's been times where I'm pretty sure I've gotten 2 wishlist games, just because it's easy to do. Like, especially on PS4 and Xbox One, those games are like dirt cheap right now. So they're like, yeah, we'll send you an Xbox One game, we'll send you a PS4 game. You're like, cool, I wanted both of these. So, yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say on that. So why don't we go ahead and zoom out and grab my knife here and open this up. So, as always, I have it facing that way, so that way when I open it up and I pull a game out, we don't get spoilers of the next game, because we can't see what the next game is. So, what did we get? Oh! I don't know what this is, but... Oh, that's cool. They have a podcast. I've seen this advertised on Facebook, the Game Treasure Podcast. Every Friday on YouTube and Spotify. So, that's a thing. Okay, that's cool. Alright. Okay, first up, we have the best part of the box every month is our Air Defender Lite, discountairpillows.com, where pillows are inflated, not prices. Sometimes these are packed pretty well in the box. Other times, one of these is a little deflated. This one's a little deflated. I mean, it's like he's wounded, but he's still alive. But yeah, these guys are what are protecting our box from, well, they're protecting the games from getting damaged. So, give a big salute to the discountairpillows.com. Alright, let's see what we actually... What is this? It's round and plastic. I legit thought it was a Pokeball at first. Oh! It's a little Mario Kart little mystery thing. So, oh, that is really out of focus. So yeah, we can get a Mario, a Peach, or a Yoshi in this. It's made by Tomy. Yeah, let's open this up. By the way, if you hear some barking in the video, my dad's out of town and Bella misses him, and so she's doing this whiny bark thing. It's really annoying. Especially last night when it's 1 a.m. and she's still doing it. I'm trying to sleep. Yeah, so if you hear that in the video, I apologize. Okay. So let's see which character we got in this. How do you open this? Come on. You gotta be smarter than the little plastic toy. There we go. Oh! So it's more than just a Mario. I got a Metal Mario. And so here's a little checklist thing. So it is more than just the Mario, Peach, and Yoshi. They have a full list here of 10. And it looks like the Metal Mario might be like the rare one. So yeah, Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Toad, Wario, Donkey Kong, Luigi, Bowser, and like the Golden Peach or Rose Peach. I forget what they call that. And then the Metal Mario. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And he comes with a little sticker. Oh, okay, I know what that is. I see that in the picture. I guess they just did that to like save paint or whatever. But looks like the little M goes on the front of his car. Not perfect, but there we go. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And yeah, I might want to get a couple more of these. I'm not going to attempt to get all of these because that's just kind of a losing battle. But it's still a cool thing. So let's go ahead and put all this back in the little, I'm going to call it an egg, even though it's not really an egg. I don't think I need to keep the little egg. I've kind of gotten to a really bad habit of keeping things because they could potentially be valuable someday or something. Yeah, but I like the little Mario. Yeah, okay. So now, let's move on to the actual first game out of the box. Okay, so I feel a Game Boy Advance game. The last couple times I've gotten a Game Boy Advance game, it's been a Japanese import game, which is fine. I'm working on a way to be able to play those. I mean, I can play them just fine, but I'm working on a way to be able to, be able to read it, I guess. Especially when it's like a Mega Man Battle Network game where it's an RPG with a lot of text and stuff, or, well, just RPGs in general, I guess. Anyway, let's see what we got. Speaking of Mega Man Battle Network games, this is probably one of them, which is really funny. I had this thing closed like this in my hand. I didn't even know what I was holding. So that was just a really funny coincidence. I mentioned Mega Man. I'm pretty sure this is Mega Man. I mean, it's Capcom. That kind of looks like a Mega Man right there. Yeah. So yeah, that's our first game. Okay. So I feel an Xbox One game. So we got Warhammer Vermintide. Hear the disc rattling around. But this game came out 2019. I almost said 2009, but I knew that wasn't right. 2019. I know absolutely nothing about this game, so this will be a unique thing. But like I said, like always, we got a little bit of gameplay up here in this corner, so if this interests you, then cool. Includes 2 DLCs, 3 heroic deeds, Helmgart heraldry themed skins, 1 portrait frame, and the Sigmar Keep statue. Don't know what any of that means, but cool. So that's our second game. Yeah, so since we got this thing, there's only 3 games. This is definitely a PS4 game, because like I said, usually how it works, I get an import game, an Xbox One, and a PS4. That's just seems to be how my games have been set up lately. Assassin's Creed Unity, which I think this is my wishlist item, and I know I've got a lot of Assassin's Creed games. I don't think I have this one. I know that it's kind of a common, almost catchphrase on the channel to be like, do I have this? So, I'm going to look over at my PS4 games. So, on PS4, I've got Assassin's Creed Chronicles and Origins. And Odyssey. I don't have, and I've got Valhalla on PS5. I don't have any Assassin's Creed on Xbox. Well, any of the Xboxes, I guess. Yeah, so this was my wishlist item. So to remind you guys, we got Assassin's Creed Unity. Oh, by the way, this game came out 2014. Wow, really? This game's old then. Okay. Yeah, so Assassin's Creed, Vermintide, and most likely Mega Man, and the really cool little metal Mario Kart. And so for those who are wondering on like the link and all that stuff, I mean it's in the description below, but I'll go ahead and share off the box if you got treasure. And here they're talking about the boss chest giveaway, which you take a picture and post it on social media. You're entered the boss chest giveaway, which could be a new, and by new I mean new to you, console. I remember the very first box I signed up for, I think it was the first box, was a Sega Master System, which at the time I didn't have a Master System, so I thought, cool, this would be a good way for me to get a Master System. I've gotten one since then, but at the time, yeah. But yeah, you could have gotten a Master System or a Genesis. I remember a PS1 was one at one point. So yeah, you can get a new to you old console and then be like, alright, cool, now that I got a Sega Genesis, RGT, can you send me some games for it now? Yeah, so I think that's pretty cool. I've only done this once, mostly to be entered into the boss chest giveaway for the Master System. Since then I haven't, but that's just because I've got most of the boss chest giveaway. Actually, I haven't really seen one being advertised lately, so I don't know if they do that every month or just every few months. I don't know how that works, but yeah, maybe it's every few months. I don't know. Anyway, I got a link in the description below for the service if you want to try this out for yourself using my referral code. And by the way, if I get 3 referrals, I get a free box. So we both win. You get a box, I get a free box. Everybody's happy. I mean, I'm not supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to be angry because it's Angry Monkey, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Now, before we end this video, I've gotten some pickups. Not a lot of pickups, but a couple of the pickups I got were pretty big deal items, so I'm still excited to show them off. So, yeah, let's get started on that. Okay, so, I guess this is my most recent pickup. Or at least one of them. I was really excited to get the Sora amiibo, which is the last of the Smash Brothers amiibos that's to be released. So, I have a full set of Smash Brothers amiibos now. Now, as far as my amiibo collection goes, I'm still missing a few. Some of them I've noticed the prices have gone down a little bit, so now's the time to swoop in and get those, especially the Twilight Princess Link amiibo. No, Skyward Sword amiibo. I've got Twilight Princess. Skyward Sword amiibo, I don't have that one. And that used to be like a $50 amiibo, and now it's like $30-ish, $35. So now it's time to get that, and there's a couple of Splatoon ones I still need to get as well. And so yeah, I'm slowly still working on a full set of amiibos, but yeah, I am one closer to a full set. I picked up Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core on PSP. This is complete in box, so that was really exciting to get. I haven't gotten a PSP game in a while, and I later on in the video you'll see why. But I got a newfound motivation to get some PSP games. But yeah, I got this game. This came out in 2008. It looks like. Very cool. So I was excited to pick that up. I was at GameStop. No surprise, I go to GameStop all the time. And they had some really retro stuff. Well, by really retro, I mean, I guess today's standards it's kind of retro, but they had some retro stuff. They had 64 games and Super Nintendo games at GameStop. I saw that. I'm like, wait, what? So with that, I picked up Mortal Kombat Trilogy on 64, and I put my new label on there, so that looks nice. And the other game I picked up was Mario 64. Guys, look how clean this is. Like, when I first saw this, I'm like, this has to be a retro or a repro game or something, because like this case is just, this cartridge is so clean. By the way, it's not. I opened it up to try something. No, this is not a repro. This actually is an authentic 64 game. The reason why I opened it up is because I already have Mario 64, because I know some of you guys are like, wait, don't you already have that? I do. I got that from Weasel Wizard 2022. However, if you remember, his version was a little beat up. So don't worry, Weasel Wizard, I am keeping your copy that you were so happy to 100% this, 120 stars. This is not going anywhere, this is staying in my collection, but I just wanted a prettier game for my shelf. But no, I still have your copy as well. I'm taking care of it. I just wanted a prettier game, because man, look at that. That's just clean. So yeah, so I got those. I got Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures Deluxe on PS5. I grew up on Roller Coaster Tycoon on the PC. I know, me playing a PC game? What kind of madness is this? I know. But yeah, before I got, well, my Game Boy and stuff, yeah, I played Roller Coaster Tycoon like a lot. And I adored that game. So when I saw this on PS5, I'm like, oh man, I gotta get that. Now, I do have Roller Coaster Tycoon on original Xbox. This one. And I saw this, I'm like, oh, I wonder how well this compares to the one I played on PC. This actually is an Xbox port of the one I played on PC. And this one actually included the original, plus the first two expansions, Corkscrew Follies and Loopy Landscapes. So this had a few extra stuff that my version didn't have, but I mean, like, graphically it's the same. I mean, it's a lot easier to use a keyboard on these kind of games than a Xbox controller, but I was excited to get this. But anyway, we're here to talk about this one. But yeah, I was really excited to add this one to my collection, because like I said, I grew up playing the Tycoon games. Roller Coaster Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon, those were like some of my all-time favorite games when I was a wee lad. So I was very excited to pick that one up. I didn't even know this existed until I was at GameStop like over the weekend. I'm like, that's a thing? I'm getting that. So yeah, this is a game I've wanted to get for a while. Thanks to Fill One Up on YouTube, he pointed out that, like, yeah, if you want to get some Xbox games, now's the time to get them, because Walmart has discontinued Xbox games. You can find a whole bunch of videos on those on the internet, so I'm not going to bother talking about that, except for now's the time to get some Xbox One, Xbox Series X games. So I picked this up for $15. So I think I did pretty good there. I think it's like I mean, yeah, it's a Dragon Ball game, but it's not necessarily a fighting game. Yeah, it's an action RPG adventure game. So it's different than all like the Budokai type games and stuff. So I'm like, you know what? That sounds really interesting. And it's Dragon Ball, so you know it's going to be fun. And the other game I got, Bucky Blaze, goes on a lot about the Hot Wheels games. And apparently this one's really fun. So yeah, I picked this one up for $10. And so yeah, let's get that and maybe play it on the channel sometime. That kind of goes with any of these. So yeah, like as always, if you see a game that you want to see, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And the next thing I want to talk about is the PSP. So some of you guys are probably wondering, don't you already have a PSP? I do. In fact, here it is. This is the PSP 1000. I've had this for, I don't know, 12 years or something. So this isn't anything special. But what I did learn was from Scott the Woz. He did a thing talking about the PS Vita and like why the PS Vita failed or something. He talked about something with the PSP that really caught my attention. And I'm like, wait a minute, you can? Oh, well that changes everything on the PSP. So apparently, certain models of the PSP can be played on the TV. And in that case, I can record PSP games. So I'm imagining, okay, I can play PSP games on the channel. That was something I didn't even think was possible, but there is a way. However, that one can't do it. So I picked this up on eBay for $60. So this is the PSP 2000. It looks pretty identical in every way to the PSP 1000. However, this version has this. And I'll get to that in a minute, but this is what allows you to hook it up to a TV. Now, when I bought this, it was missing the battery, and it was missing the power cable to like charge it, charging cable, I guess. So like the only reason why I bought this is because I've got a PSP 1000, and so I'm able to use this battery. And yeah, it sticks out, so that's kind of ugly. But I mean, it's in there pretty good. But with this battery and the charging cable's exactly the same. So yeah, I can hook this up to a TV thanks to this power cable. So this just hooks up right here, and it's very snug. But yeah, it hooks up to a TV, and I can play PSP games on the TV. And so, like I said, that kind of gives some extra motivation to play and collect for PSP, because now I have an actual way to play them on the channel. Because there's a lot of times I don't want to play a game because I want to go into it blind for the channel, but now I actually have a way to play them on the channel. So like Crisis Core, and I got like Star Wars Battlefront on PSP. Yeah, 1 and 2. Okay. Or no, 2 and Renegade Squadron. So yeah, I've got like 2 Star Wars Battlefront games, and I've got Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, and Killzone, and Loco Roco, and some SOCOM games, and Secret Agent Clank. Yeah, so I've got not a lot of PSP games. I've got like 20-ish games. But now I have a reason to play them on the channel. But what was also really exciting is there was a surprise game of Tekken Dark Resurrection inside of this PSP. I guess the seller didn't realize that was in there. But I've got a funny story with this PSP. Does this not lock? I've got a funny story with this PSP. So, I was looking all over eBay for a PSP 2000 or 3000, and I wanted one cheap because, yeah, I mean, naturally the cheaper the better. And like I said, it works, so I'm happy. But I had to buy it all the way from Albania because that was the only place where I was able to find a cheap American version of a PSP. America only had Japanese imports. So I'm like, okay, so America has Japanese imports, and Albania has US imports? So I thought that was really weird and really stupid. So I had to buy this all the way from Albania, and I even had to sign for it. I'm like, why do I have to sign for this? What did I get? Oh, right, it's that PSP that wasn't supposed to be here for another, like, 2 weeks, so I got it 2 weeks early, which was cool. But then I later learned that the PSP is region-free anyway, so I could have bought a Japanese import in America instead of having to buy it all the way from Albania. So that was just a fun, weird story that I just had to share with you guys. So, anyway, yeah, I got a PSP. It works. I can play it on the TV. I can record it for the channel. All that good stuff. Cool. So that was like one of the three big things. But I got two more bigger items I want to show. So I guess I need to clear the table off to show off the next two items. So this I bought from our boy Joe Schmmo for $150. I got an Oculus. I don't know anything about this really. I mean, I know what VR is, and I've used VR once at a friend's house, and we played Beat Saber and some weird game where you're in a spaceship with zero gravity. I don't know what that game was called, but I got an Oculus. I don't really know how this works, how it even turns on. But I mean, just look at that. So am I able to record on this? Guys, let me know if there's a way to record this, and that way I can like play it on the channel and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it's got this. It's got both controllers, and these are really weird controllers because I've only used these once. So I don't really know how they work. Okay. So yeah, they work like this. Okay, that's actually pretty natural. So yeah, you got this, the X and Y, the A, B, I guess it's like the home button, some trigger buttons. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Like I said, I don't really even know on how this works. Because yeah, I've I've only used this once. But yeah, I was really excited to pick this up, and when I have some downtime, I'll happily explore how this works, because I've always wanted one of these. I don't know if this only works with, like, I mean, it says from Facebook, so I don't know how that works. I don't know if I'm able to hook this up to, like, PlayStation VR. I've got some Sony PS4 VR games. I doubt I'm able to use that on this, but I thought I read somewhere that this can hook up to Steam or something, and maybe I can play Steam games through that, which would be kind of cool. But again, I don't know. I don't know anything about this really, but I was really excited to show this off. This is definitely one of the bigger items. But I got one more big item, and probably the most important item. But at the same time, you guys probably already know about it if you're like a regular on my channel, but it's still worth noting. So for the last 10 years, 10 and a half years, yeah, for the last 10 and a half years, I recorded all my footage with a DVD recorder. So I would hook up the game console into the back of the DVD recorder, and then from the DVD recorder to the TV, and in 2-hour blocks, or maybe hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, I guess, record the video game footage onto a DVD, and then from there I would use Handbrake to convert it, and then edit that way, and that's how I got my content on the channel. However, it's 2024, and I'm still using 2008 technology. Like, I was uploading the same way that people would have uploaded when YouTube first started. Now, when I first started in 2013 and using a DVD recorder, yeah, okay, it's kind of that weird era of, like, some people haven't embraced new technology yet, but when it's in the 2020s and you're still using the exact same thing for the last 10 years, it's time for an upgrade. So that was one of the things that I decided to do in 2024 was, what can I do to enhance my footage on the channel? I mean, obviously I got a camera here that you're seeing staring at an empty table, and kind of building up suspense of, okay, show us the capture card. Well, here we go. So I talked to Kajinama and I'm like, hey, what's a good capture card that would work for me? because my computers are ancient. My MacBook is, what, a 2015 model, which I don't really use my MacBook except for recording, like my commentary. My iMac is from actually no, my MacBook is like refurbished from 2015, but it's like a 2012 or 11 model. My iMac, which I got in 2018, is probably about a 2015 model, so that's almost 10 years old. I mean, it still works perfectly fine. I got a laptop PC that is probably about 2008. Yeah, talk about ancient. I mean, it works, kinda. I've got another PC computer laptop that is about 2017, maybe 16, which is probably my newest. And my desktop PC is like 2011, so that's maybe even 10. I got it in 11, but I think it like was made in 10. So yeah, all my computers are like ancient. So I can't hook up a capture card to a computer, but thanks to the AngryMedia capture card, it hooks up to a micro SD card, and it records to that, and then from that, just to an MP4 file, I'm able to put that on the computer and edit my footage that way. And tomorrow, I'm uploading an episode of Mario U, and compare episode 11 to episode 10, and it's like a night and day difference on what the AngryMedia capture card does versus what the DVD recorder does. It's a drastic difference. So I put this in here, so that way this is basically what I'm using for my retro stuff. I would hook it up to this because, yeah, it has this and it works, but the image quality is about on par with the DVD recorder versus this converter, which goes from RCA to HDMI and then HDMI into that, and then from that to the TV. The quality is not a huge difference, but I did notice a significant enough to me difference to be like, you know what, I'm going to use this converter to record my footage. And I got a 256 gig micro SD card, which according to Kaj is like 20 hours of recording footage. So that's more than enough for right now, because what I did have was a 32 gig to try it out, and that's like 2.5 hours, so that's not much more than recording on the DVD recorder, but this is a lot better. So yeah, if you haven't been on my channel in a while, you're going to see a significant improvement in quality in at least in the retro stuff. I'm hoping, and just in general, you're seeing an up in quality in the last couple of years. Like last year, I included the intro to these kind of videos, my unboxing videos and other types of videos, pickup videos and all that. I've added in just some extra stuff to just kind of make my content more enjoyable for you guys. So I hope it's coming off pretty good. Yeah, so I've rambled on for way too long, as I always do, but yeah, I had some pretty big updates. Like, I mean, yeah, I had all those games to show you, the PSP story, the Oculus. This, like I said, is probably the most important thing that I've gotten in the last month. Yeah, but before you go, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you're notified when another video comes out. Like I said, Mario U is going to be uploaded starting tomorrow. We got like 5 or 6 episodes of that, so if you want more Mario U, well, now's the time to subscribe, so that way you know when that episode gets uploaded. I also have a Facebook page where you can like me on Facebook, and, well, I'm going to post the same videos that I posted on YouTube onto Facebook as well, but it's just another avenue to interact with you guys. I don't really have a lot of people follow me on Facebook, so I don't really advertise it that much, but it is there. But I also have an Instagram that I forget that I have until I make a video like this, and I always say, like, I'm going to upload something onto Instagram, and I never do. But go ahead and follow me on there, so that way, when I do post something on there, you're like, oh, cool, Angry actually posted something on Instagram. Awesome, I'm going to like that, and I'm going to like everything else that he posts, because all the stuff he posts is awesome. I mean, I agree. But the most important thing is the Discord server, where I have a Discord where we talk about, well, pretty much anything you can think of. Video games, anime, Pokemon. We post memes. We talk about nostalgia. Yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff on there. Fun community. And if you like the sound of my voice, or you think that I'm a cool sounding person, or just a cool person in general, which, I mean, again, I am. I don't know why I keep doing that. Like, it's making me sound so arrogant, and I'm not. At least I try not to be. Anyway, yeah, if you think I'm a cool person or whatever, join the Discord and hang out with me and Citrus and Kajinama and Phoenix and the other people that have been on the channel in the last 10 years. And it's just a fun time to have fun, hang out, nerd out. Yeah. So I guess that's all I really have to say. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day.